Hello world! Welcome to Learning Java, one byte at a time. This is video 35 in a tutorial series geared at bringing the wonderful wide world of Java to those with little or no programming experience. This video is a continuation of the development of the Booker application, a vehicle appraisal app. In the last video, we wrote the class for the price adjuster, which will be called as an instance from the bluebook class to make all of the individual adjustments to the features of the vehicle and return adjusted price values. In this video, we're going to write the bluebook class, which calls the price adjuster and then accumulates all of those adjustments and returns a final appraisal to the controller. This video will be quite a bit shorter than the last one, and then in the next video we will do the unit testing on both of those classes as we always do. So jumping right in, let's open up our Notepad++. And you can see here I have from the last video the price adjuster class, which was pretty lengthy. This one will be a little bit shorter. The bluebook class, you see here I have a blank bluebook.java, and we can go ahead and start to write this class, which is going to use the price adjuster class. So just like always, let's include it in the right package. There are no imports to make in this one, but we will declare this public class as bluebook, and we will begin to write the logic. So let's first use our Singleton design pattern to do a declaration of a private static bluebook object that we're going to call instance. We're going to set it equal to a new bluebook object, like so, and as that's a private declaration, we're also going to make our constructor private, and that's going to be an empty constructor, and since both of those are private, we're going to need to provide a public get instance access. So public static, it's going to return a bluebook object, we're going to call it get bluebook instance, like so. And we're simply going to use the lazy Singleton design pattern and just return the bluebook.instance as we've defined it up here. All right, and if you've forgotten the point of using the Singleton design pattern, I would refer you to some of the earlier videos or do some research, of course. But it's a neat, tidy little design pattern that keeps the program simple and keeps it running efficiently by only having one return object of that type of class. There's more that can be said on that. So now we're going to need to define a double method called getAppraisal, and this is going to be what calls all of the methods of the final price. So let's do a public. It's going to be a double since we want to return that dollar amount. Let's call it getAppraisal, and we're going to pass through our vehicle object that we'll just call vehicle. And in this one, we're going to return a call to our getFinalPrice method, passing through the vehicle object like so. All right. So now at this point, let's go ahead and define a static method that's going to return a double, and we'll call that getFinalPrice. So it'll be public static double getFinalPrice. This one is also going to accept a vehicle. And in here, we're going to make all of the calls to the price adjuster class that we wrote in the last video. So let's start by doing a price adjuster object. We'll call it price adjuster, and we're going to set it equal to priceadjuster.getInstance as we've defined it in the last class. That will return us an instance of that object, and from there we can use the object to access its methods. We'll have a double value called final price, and this is what's going to be returned after all of our calculations. We'll set it equal to the vehicle.getVehicleBaseCost, and then we'll do the calculations to adjust that final price, and then we will return it. And so we know that the price adjuster has all of the methods that will make the calculations that will accept features of the vehicle, some base price, and then return an adjustment on that price. And so we're essentially just going to go through item by item and begin to make calls using the price adjuster object to its methods. So we'll do price adjuster, and we will start with, actually, because we're going to be modifying our final price double, let's say final price is equal to, and then we're going to set it equal to the adjustment. So it starts as being the base cost of the vehicle, and then line by line we're going to make adjustments to that base cost until we get to the final appraisal value. So we're going to use our price adjuster object, and we'll start at the beginning. We'll do year price adjust, and we know that this is going to accept the vehicle year and then a base price. So we're going to use our vehicle object. We're going to call the get vehicle year, and then we will pass through our final price. And next we're going to do final price, and we're going to adjust it again. This time we're going to adjust it with the transmission price adjust. Again, we're just going line by line. We're accessing every method of it one at a time. The transmission price adjust, as you remember, is going to accept a transmission string and then a price. So we'll access the vehicle.get transmission vehicle. Okay, and that's going to be actually get vehicle transmission. That's the name of that method. And that will return the string that we need. That's going to be the transmission. And then again, we're going to pass the final price. Next, we're going to make the adjustment based on the drive. And so that's going to be our price adjustment object. It's going to be the drive price adjust. That one's going to accept also a string, which we will use the vehicle object, get vehicle drive, and then of course the final price, like so. All right, that's looking good so far. Next, let's set our final price equal to the safety features. So it's going to be the price adjuster safety, let's see if I can get that right, safety feature price adjust, and that one's going to accept some booleans. And so we remember we have the vehicle.is vehicle airbags will return a boolean value. We have the vehicle is vehicle ABS for our second boolean value. The vehicle.is vehicle rear view camera, rear view camera, like so, and that return the third boolean value. And then finally we pass through our final price. All right, that's going to be that method. Next, we will adjust our price again, price adjuster. This one will be for the grade. So let's tap into the grade price adjust. This one accepts a string as well, which we can get by accessing the vehicle.getVehicleGrade method of the vehicle object. And we will pass to the final price again. And let's make another adjustment here based on the mileage. So we'll do price adjuster dot mileage price adjust. This one's going to accept an integer, and it's actually going to accept an integer for the mileage, an integer for the year, and then of course the final price. So let's do vehicle.get vehicle, if I can type, vehicle mileage. There's our first integer. We will access our vehicle object, get vehicle year. There's our second integer, and then our final price that we're making the adjustment to. Okay, so that one looks good there. Next, we're going to make an adjustment to the previous owners. So let's do price adjuster. This is going to be previous owners price adjust, and it's going to accept the integer of previous owners and the final price. So we're going to access our vehicle object, get vehicle previous owners. That will return the integer, and then our final price. And then we'll make the adjustment for our luxury features. Price adjuster dot luxury feature price adjust. That's going to be equal to the 3 Boolean values that we're going to need to access from our vehicle object. So we'll do vehicle.get, actually since it's a Boolean, it's going to be vehicle.is vehicle keyless entry, vehicle.is vehicle premium sound, and then vehicle.is vehicle GPS. navigation. Just like so. And then, of course, our final price that we're going to adjust. All right, getting close to the finish here. We're going to adjust our final price another time with the accident history. Price adjuster dot accident history price adjust. And it's going to accept the vehicle is accident history. And the final price. And then finally for our commission. So the final price is equal to our price adjuster object, commission price adjust. We're going to access the get vehicle commission and the final price. And that looks like it should be everything. So now that we've made all of those adjustments, let's return whatever our final price is now to the method that's calling it, which is right here, the get appraisal method. And that gives it the public access. And so now when we instantiate our bluebook object from our controller, and then that bluebook object instance is going to be what we use to call the get appraisal, and we're simply going to pass through a vehicle, and that is it. And then the bluebook object is going to take the vehicle object, and then it's going to actually peel away all of the attributes. It's going to run them through one by one to the price adjuster class. It's going to get that final accumulated final price, and that's what's going to be returned as the appraisal value. And so we sort of offloaded all of the work into these two different classes here. We've made it super simple and scalable. Again, another beautiful feature of the model view controller design is just tapping into that single responsibility principle, making each class only responsible for one thing. And so this one was a little bit easier than the last one. In the next video, we'll come back and we will write our unit testing class that will test the price adjuster and bluebook to make sure that it's working correctly. And then we're going to tie everything together into our model view controller. And so hopefully this was fun and entertaining. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you back in the next video. Have a wonderful night.